Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeff and today I want to show you guys some different tarp configurations. Let's go and find a good place where I can put up a ridge line and show you guys the most favorite tarp configurations I like to use. Alright guys, I have found the perfect place for a tarp shelter. I have a nice clearing here. I cleaned away some of the fallen branches from the trees. First things first, I'm gonna put up a ridge line and then I will show you guys some tarp shelters. Alright, so the first thing I have to do is untangle this mess. Well, it's not a mess actually. I rolled it up very nice. I'm gonna make a simple overhand knot, which is going to be the part that goes around the tree. Now I'm gonna need a branch. I just picked it off the floor and then I put in my stick and then I can put some pressure on it. Okay, that's now nice and secure. I have a 3 by 3 meter or 10 by 10 foot tarp. So it's a square tarp. Okay. By the way, the first shelter that I'm going to show you guys is going to be an A-frame. Alright, let me show you how to make a prosec knot. So first I need to attach these two ends. You can do this with a simple overhand knot. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, you can just make a loop like this. Or you can make a fisherman's knot. And you put the rope like this, so you cross over. Then you take one side and you make an overhand knot. It's very hard to show this on camera. And you make a knot like this, so on one piece, and then you make a overhand knot on this line, and then you have two overhand knots, and then if you pull on it they slide together and you have a very strong binding. Alright, so here I have my line. I will lay it on the line like this, and then I'm gonna put the knot through itself a couple of times. Let's do it 3 times. You can also do it 2 times. That's already an official prosec knot, but it needs to be at least 2 times. But the more times you do it, the stronger it will get. And now you can push on it like this, or you can pull on it very hard and it's not gonna go anywhere. But if you take the knot itself, it can slide very easy. And then I'm just gonna take one of my loops that are on the tarp. I'm gonna put the prosec knot through it. Now again I grab some sticks from the ground. I will put it through the loop of the prosec knot, and then I will just pull on the knot, and now my tarp is secured to the line now. I have some stakes in this bag and I will stake out the A-frame shelter now. Alright, I will show you the shelter now. I used 4 stakes, so on each corner of the tarp I used a stake, and I will show you guys the inside. It's quite a roomy shelter, it's very big, it's a very strong and sturdy shelter, and yeah, if you set it up the right way, it's a very good shelter, and it's actually one of my favorite shelters. So for the second shelter we're gonna lay down the tarp in a diagonal to the ridgeline. Alright, now I'm gonna go from the corner. I'm gonna go 2 taps in, and that's what I will tie off to my ridgeline. At the back of the shelter, I will take the second tie out from the back and I will stake it down. Alright, so now for both sides I will stake them down as well, so you're gonna need 4 stakes for this shelter as well. So this is the basic shelter. As you can see, it's more like a windbreak than an actual shelter, but you can sleep in it also when it's raining, because what you can do, you can take this flap right here and you can stake it down to the ground like this, and it will protect you like more than you would think. So it's a pretty good shelter for the rain as well. Okay, for shelter number 4, I'm gonna need to lower the ridgeline a little bit, and you will see why in a second. Alright, so for this shelter you're only gonna need 1 tap from your tarp. So I'm going to slide over the crossing nut to this side, or a little bit more to the middle, and I'm going to tie off my tarp to it. As you may have noticed, I only used half of the tarp, so I can use the other half for a ground sheet. So now this is more of a stealth shelter, or a shelter for very bad weather, when you need to be out of the wind and low to the ground. And it looks very small, but I'm going to show you guys that it will fit 1 person easily. Alright, I will take down this shelter now and I will show you the final shelter. Alright, so for the final shelter I need to hire the ridgeline again, and you don't actually need a ridgeline for this shelter, but for the purpose of this video I'm gonna use a ridgeline because it's easier to set it up for the camera this way. Alright, I'm gonna take 1 point of the tarp and I'm going to attach it again to the ridgeline. This shelter is called a plow point shelter, and maybe if I show you the side you can see why. It's a very big shelter. It gives you lots of room, but there is no ground sheet. But I really like this shelter. This is the one I use most of the time, and that's why I always have a cheap tarp which I can use as a ground sheet. And there's more than enough room for 2 people, maybe even 3. Now there's one thing you can do to make it even bigger, and that is to pull out the back tie out of the tarp. This will give you a little bit more headroom, but for one person, yeah, this is more than enough room. Alright guys, so these were my top 5 tarp shelters. The last one you see right now is called the plow point, and it's actually my favorite tarp configuration at the moment. It's very versatile. You can use it in the rain, you can use it to block out the wind, you can even put it up if you just want to have some shade. So yeah, I hope this was informative for some of you guys, and I hope you will continue to watch the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright guys, so this was my video on my top 5 of most favorite tarp shelters. I hope this was helpful for some of you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment, and I will see you in another video. Take care. Hey guys, by the way, I wanted to add that these 5 shelters are not in a particular order. It doesn't mean one is better than the other. These are just 5 tarp shelters that I really like to use. And at the moment, the plow point shelter, so number 5, the last shelter I showed you guys, is my favorite shelter. But sometimes I use one of the other shelters, or maybe a completely different tarp configuration that I didn't even show in this video. Like, there are many different tarp configurations, and some are better than others, but that doesn't mean like there are completely terrible tarp shelters. Well, maybe there are some, but yeah, it depends on the weather, it depends on the season, which shelter you want to use. So yeah, I just wanted to add that these 5 shelters that I showed you guys in this video are not in a particular order. It doesn't mean number 1 was the worst and number 5 was the best, or anything like that. Alright, that's it for now, and yeah, I will hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care.